Good evening. From UCTV News, I'm Henry Willshire. In the headlines tonight, continuing on Chuck Hagel and a high-speed chase in Las Vegas. In a follow-up to a continuing UCTV story, Chuck Hagel, President Obama's pick for Secretary of Defense, seems to have the promised votes necessary to confirm his nomination. Unless there are any last-minute surprises, Hagel is expected to be confirmed during voting next week. His nomination has been the subject of controversy due to questions about his foreign policy beliefs, including his support for Israel. Once Hagel is confirmed, there remains another controversial Obama appointee, John Brennan, nominated for leadership of the CIA. Las Vegas was home this week to what witnesses described as a scene out of a Die Hard movie. 2 cars were involved in a high-speed chase along the Las Vegas Strip, and gunfire was exchanged. 1 car crashed, hitting a taxi uninvolved in the chase. 3 people, including the driver of the crashed car and the passengers in the taxi, were killed. Police are still searching for the shooters in the second car, which fled the scene. With Ursinus News, filling in for Kara Bone this week is Marina McCann. Marina?
The Ursinus Job, Internship, and Networking Fair was this past Wednesday in the Fieldhouse. Employers from over 100 different companies were present, ranging from Six Flags Entertainment to Liberty Mutual to the United States Marine Corps. All Ursinus students, not just graduating seniors, were given the opportunity to talk with potential employers and hand over resumes. A number of Ursinus alumni were present to represent their current employers as well. The fair is a yearly event, so if you missed it this time, make sure you're prepared for next year. The results are in for the Ursinus Student Government Association elections. The positions filled include President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, and Social Chair for the classes of 2014, 2015, and 2016. There was a minor error in the election process, however, and due to the error, the position of President of the class of 2016 remains unfilled. A special election is planned to rectify this mistake in time for the fall semester. This past weekend, the Ursinus College mock trial team put UC on the map while participating at the regional competition in Lancaster County. The American Mock Trial Association in the event honored UC students taking part by being presented with the prestigious Spirit of the AMTA Award. The Spirit Award is voted on by the competition teams and officials and is earned by the team that best exemplifies the ethics and values of the association. UC tops several prominent colleges and universities participating in the event, including Harvard, Yale, Columbia, and Johns Hopkins. Fewer students are continuing on to graduate school in recent times. The New York Times reported in September of 2012 that enrollment in graduate schools had decreased for another consecutive year. Ursinus Career Services Director Carla Rind said the issue is due to crazy tuition numbers, crushing student debt, and fewer opportunities for high-paying employment among graduation. Rind said, "We advise students to take time to assess what is important to them." While graduate school is still the best option for some, others consider the extra debt to be a deal-breaker. Ursinus College Grizzly correspondent John Perry recently reported that Wismer Dining Services has been cited for several health violations. An inspection last December revealed several violations, including roaches, mice feces, food improperly stored, and an unsanitary ice machine with mold-like growth. Andy Fike, Director of Facility Services, provided documentation that indicated Wismer was subsequently treated for roach and mice protection. He also explained that the ice machine would be subject to more frequent cleanings. With UCTV Sports, here is anchor John Roda with the story.
As the weather starts to warm up, the Ursinus men's golf team will be getting ready to start the spring season. As they head into the season, sophomore Russell Hill is ranked first in the Centennial Conference. Hill averaged a 74 in 2 rounds this fall with a low score of 73. He has just 148 strokes. Ursinus starts the spring season March 20th at Dickinson College. Basketball season came to a close for the men on the Ursinus basketball team last Saturday night. Malik Killing scored a game-high 25 points as Muhlenberg defeated Ursinus 80-56 on Saturday night in men's basketball playoffs. Ursinus came into the game with a chance to clinch the 5th and final playoff spot with a win, but could not overcome a 10-point halftime lead by the Mules. Muhlenberg made 51% of their shots in the second half and went 26 for 31 from the foul line. Senior forward John Ward, who scored 14 points in his final game of his Ursinus career, led the Bears in scoring. Ward will finish as the 4th leading scorer in school history. Senior guard Matt Donahue scored 9 points, while senior forward Kevin Janowski and freshman guard Mark Wunderling each scored 8. In the studios tonight, we have 2 members of the Ursinus men's basketball team. All right, Ursinus, welcome back. This is John Roda here with you again. We're very lucky tonight to be joined by 2 members of the Ursinus College men's basketball team. I want to welcome Ryan Adams and Jesse Crasna. Guys, how you doing tonight?
We're good, John. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. And you guys just finished out your season recently. So I got a few questions relating to the season, see what you guys got. So to start off, what would you guys consider the major highlight of this past season?
I think for me personally, we had a tough road win down at Johns Hopkins in overtime. Was it double overtime? Double overtime. And on the road, Hopkins was 3rd in the league at that point. We were kind of pushing for the playoffs, and we went down there. I think we won by a point. Just a tough game overall, just on defense, offense. It was just everything wasn't going our way, and we just pulled it out on the road.
Sounds like a heck of a game. So I'm sure that was a great game, but if you had to choose something else, what would you say was the most memorable game of the season, Jesse?
For me, I think the most memorable game was our Haverford game at Haverford. It was the second time we had played them, and it was a really close game the whole way. Before that game, we were really struggling. I think we lost like 3 in a row before that game, so we were desperate for a win. And we ended up winning that game on a buzzer beater. So that gave us some momentum to finish the season strong. We ended up finishing the season 3-1, so we were happy about that.
Good. Now, the Centennial Conference obviously has a lot of basketball talent in it, but if you guys had to pick one player each that you thought was the best player you faced this season, who would you say?
I remember our first game, our opener, we played Middlebury, who I think they're ranked 4th in the nation to end the season, so they're a really good team. They had a point guard. His name was Joey Kaizel, and I'm a point guard as well, so I got to go head-to-head against him. He was a really good player, really a nice shooter, could get to the basket, made his teammates better. So I think going head-to-head against me, when I went head-to-head against him, that really gave me some pointers, and I took a lot from watching him play and playing against him.
How about you, Ryan?
For me, it would be Jerry Wickstead, the forward from Dickinson. He's probably, between him or Hike Gorchin from Franklin and Marshall, one of them is going to be the player of the year in our league. And, he's similar to me in terms of size, about 6'6", 6'7". We're just really skilled, can shoot from the outside, just quick with the ball, and just has a lot of post moves. So he's definitely tough to guard. And he was their best player by far this year, so he was pretty tough.
And now, guys, going into next season, what would you say are some areas of improvement that you guys need to improve on the most?
I think one thing that we struggled with this year was kind of consistently rebounding the ball with all 5 people. There was games where that directly hurt us, and if we had rebounded a couple, one here, one there, definitely could have led to a win. And missing the playoffs by 1 game this year, one win here and there would have definitely helped us. So I think next year just kind of team rebounding is one thing to work on.
Okay, and last thing, guys, do you have any pregame rituals or team secrets you could share with the Ursinus community about the basketball team?
We don't have anything that's out of the ordinary, but each guy kind of does their own thing before the game, whether it's listening to music, watching a funny movie on the bus ride, or some guys will take hours just to get loose. They'll be stretching for hours before the game. So, nothing too crazy, but everyone's kind of got their own thing to get their mindset ready for the game.
One thing that I would say that we always get on our freshman Malik Draper. He's obviously a great player as a freshman, had a great year this year, but every day in practice he always puts his shorts really high. Don't really know why. It's kind of his own thing, and our coach starts doing it too to kind of mock him, and it's weird. It's a weird atmosphere, but it works for him, I guess, so maybe I should try it.
Good to know. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight, and from everybody here at UCTV, we want to wish you guys luck next season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks. And with appealing or appalling, Marina?
I'm Marina McCann with our newest UCTV segment called Appealing or Appalling. We invite a surprise guest to our studio and ask their opinion on an issue. They don't know the issue, and their response is unrehearsed. For today's program, we welcome senior Maria Krolikowski. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Marina.
Welcome to Appealing or Appalling. Please tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm a senior biology major, and I am a hospice volunteer, a member of Best Buddies Club, and president of Tau Sigma Gamma sorority.
Fantastic. So, Maria, what is your view on this new Reimert housing issue, co-ed suites? Appealing or appalling?
Well, I'm sort of in the middle.
And why is that?
Well, appealing because you get to live with your friends, whether they're boys or girls, and appalling because you all have to share one bathroom, and there's only one shower, and boys can tend to be a little dirty.
So you think this would be a big problem?
Yeah, it wouldn't work out for me too well because I like to keep the bathroom a little bit cleaner, but hopefully it works out for the people that decide to try it.
So we have a tie at both appealing and appalling?
Yes.
Well, that's very interesting, Maria, and thank you for joining us today on UCTV.
Thank you.
Filling in for UCTV's Health and Science anchor, Renee Tornea, here's Sydney Rotman. Sydney?
Will mankind set foot on Mars before the end of the decade? That seems to be the intention of the nonprofit Inspiration Mars Foundation, led by Dennis Tito, a millionaire former NASA scientist who is the first private space tourist. The foundation is apparently planning to launch a mission to Mars and back in 2018. The foundation has not explicitly said that the mission will be manned, but rumors are flying. We can expect to have a lot cleared up during the planned press conference this coming Wednesday. According to a report recently published by the International Fund for Animal Welfare, the Japanese whaling industry is currently declining, while whale watching is currently a growing industry. Whale subsidies cost Japanese taxpayers around $9.7 million per year. On the other hand, whale watching produced around $22 million in 2008. Japanese whale meat consumption peaked in the 1960s and has been declining ever since. At present, there are nearly 500 tons of unsold whale meat. Surveys indicate that 89% of Japanese citizens have not purchased whale meat in the past year, while 85% oppose government subsidies to build new ships. A polar bear researcher from the University of Alberta in Edmonton, Canada, Professor Andrew Durochere, recently published several extreme plans for maintaining wild polar bear populations. One of the options involved is airlifting meals consisting of cornmeal, porcine meal, fish meal, and other ingredients to the bears. The paper was published in the face of scientific evidence, which suggested that the threatened polar bear populations may soon experience worse decline as a direct result of global warming and melted Arctic ice. The ice has been melting at a rate of 13% per decade since 1979. In health, here's something new on campus: piloxing. In case you haven't heard of it, piloxing is a combination of boxing and Pilates, merging elements of both disciplines into an interval workout that helps burn fat and build muscle. It was created by celebrity trainer Vivica Jensen and has recently seen an increase in popularity. Ursinus senior Christy Lehman, who is now teaching piloxing on campus, recently received her instructor certification and hosts classes sponsored by To Write Love on Her Arms on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. in the dance studio. Back to you, Henry.
From all of us here at UCTV, thanks for watching. Be sure to tune in next week for all new segments, as well as surprise performances and guests. Who will you see on TV? Good night, Ursinus.